What a day. One of those days that you say, this was historic. Absolutely historic. Peace, well, the deal has been signed. Doesn't mean there's going to be peace tomorrow, forever. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be battles that go on. There's going to be, these are two groups of people that have been at each other's throats for quite a long time. And this isn't going to end with the snap of a finger or the signing of a piece of paper. Doesn't mean, though, that it isn't going to get better and that there isn't a better tomorrow. I saw a lot of people out there going, well, this isn't really peace. No, it is. It's a ceasefire. It's peace. This is a deal that's done. Will there be issues? Of course. Of course there's going to be issues. Will there be some more fighting here and there? I would assume so. Will there still be a situation where there's a distrust for quite a while? Oh, absolutely. But those are things that everybody knew going into this. You're going to have to overcome those hurdles. You're going to have to get over those things. And you can't let those things of the what if tomorrow something happens. The trust is there. How much is the trust there? I just saw that 4 coffins with remains are heading back now. They've released the hostages, the living ones. Think about this. That was all of their bargaining chip they have left. But they trusted Trump enough to say, all right, well, we tried everything else. It hasn't worked. Let's give this one a go. And they have. Earlier today in Egypt, talking about peace.
Everybody wants to be on the board of peace. They said, would you be the chairman? I say, I'm pretty busy too. But whatever we can do to have peace in the Middle East, it's worth it. But everybody wants to go on the board of peace, so we're probably going to enlarge it. We're going to get, and the leaders, the top people, the top leaders, they want to be on the board of peace. A beautiful term. At first I wasn't sure, and then I realized how beautiful it is. And for the people of Gaza, the focus now must be on restoring the basics of a good life. We're going to have a lot of money coming into Gaza and a lot of rebuilding and building. It's not so much rebuilding, it's really building, cleaning up and building. And I'm pleased to announce that numerous countries of great wealth and power and dignity have come forward to me and just today and over the last week to say they want to help in the reconstruction of Gaza, putting up whatever money is necessary. And the money is, of course, it's a lot of money, but it's not much compared to the value or the wealth of these tremendous countries. And they are ensuring stability and success in the Middle East.
And that's a big deal. Other countries are getting involved. And why it matters is because you're less likely to blow up your neighbor's house if you like your neighbor and your neighbor's helped you out. And not only that, but your neighbors also build portions of the house and allowing you to use it. You're less likely to bite that hand that feeds you. And also, people saying, well, at any given time that they could attack. It's possible. It's absolutely possible that at any given time they could attack. But chances of them doing that right now, slim to none. They don't have any. They are beaten. The people have turned. They don't want any part of it. They want to get fed, and they want to get some normalcy back in their life, where they have food in their bellies, that their kids aren't worrying about if the hospital that they're in is going to collapse on them, that they're not going to get shot. That's what they want. And Israel wants to know, hey, are you at any given time going to come over and attack us? Are you at any given time going to do this? Now, there's nothing left. When's the last time you heard about big, rockets being, and they're not big, rockets being launched over into Israel? It's been a long, long time. They're beaten down. And they trusted Trump enough to do this. And the money, you're less apt, as we say, to blow yourself up, too. If you got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath mortgage, you got places to be. I got a big thing tomorrow for my, work. I got to get this report in. This is great. If you got stuff, you're not blowing yourself up. You're not trying to kill your neighbor. Now, if your neighbor takes everything away from you, you might be trying to kill your neighbor. But the quicker that they can get to some normal way of life with a future and hope for themselves and their kids, the better it's going to be for everybody. So God bless him. I hope it happens. And I know there's going to be bumps in the road, but you got to take those first steps. And these are the first steps. There's no doubt about that. These first steps are huge in this. And Trump, I said it, and I'll say it again. I don't think for a moment he has ever been in a place like he was today where the love was so big and so strong. So there was so, you could almost feel it through the TV, the amount of love. He came there as a conquering hero. He came there as a conquering hero. And, you know, like I say, I will give Trump crap if I think some of the stuff he does is ridiculous. That's okay. We should do that with everybody. That's the beauty of who we are, is holding our leaders accountable. But for something like this will be his crowning achievement. In America, no matter what happens, his crowning achievement, outside of us going to nuclear war, which would not be a good crowning achievement, his crowning achievement is going to be the courts, because it changed so many things for potentially a decade or two. That will be his biggest achievement. This, though, globally, is massive. Huge. I mean, just incredible. Soak it up. Take it in. And also, Jared Kushner, Witkoff, this weekend, saw them giving speeches. I mean, it's a big deal. Absolutely massive. And they should be applauded. And by the way, the president of Pakistan nominated Trump today for the award.
Let's not forget, though, can't get this lost in all the mix. Trump's anti-Semitic.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's never been more anti-Semitic. I mean, have you ever met anybody more anti-Semitic than Trump?
I have it on the best of authority that Kushner and Ivanka and the kids will be the first one to go into the camps.
Yeah. Probably. Oh, well, of course. I mean, especially the kids, right? You got to get the kids in there first.
I love my grandkids, but they're Jewish, so they got to go into camp.
For those of you who don't know, that his daughter converted to Judaism. His son-in-law, Kushner, is Jewish. His grandchildren are Jewish. Do you see where we're going with this? So there's crap about, he's so anti-Semitic. Oh, my God. He's so anti-Semitic. So, Ken, real quick, did they fire the coach and everybody, or just the coach? I don't know. I was looking. I couldn't see if they fired other people besides the coach, who is awful. I mean, it is.
I think he's working on something.
Oh, he's probably working on the coach. So you guys haven't heard Titans fired their coach a little while ago. Not a shocker. He was not very good. He struggled. Some guys are great at, Ken and I were talking about this we were talking about this before the show today. Because, he had the Red River Showdown this weekend, and they lost. They lost. Oklahoma. There was no Booner or Sooner in this. They just lost. Arch Manning beat them. The reality is some guys are great at certain things, but they're not great at being the CEO. Some guys are awful at being a particular, they're not going to run the offense great. They're not going to, what they can do is put a plan together, build a squad around them of people to run it, and they're great at overseeing that. This guy struggled in major ways. Callahan was he wasn't very good. He wasn't. And the way that they played it reminded me, I said a few years ago when I moved out to Arizona, they got the first pick and they got Kyler Murray, right? So he's like, he's this little itty bitty guy, right? They pick him first. He runs around at 100 miles an hour. But he made the game exciting. He gave him something that was amazing to look at. I look over and I see Cam Ward, who I think is a better version of Kyler Murray potentially. No chance. There's no chance. Because so much of what matters in like sports is perfect. It's just work in general is who's your management, who's the team around you that matters. All of us have worked places where the team around us has been horrible, and no matter how good we are, we're not going to the places we need to be. And football is a perfect example. You're seeing all these guys absolutely excel. They left the Giants, right? Daniel Jones left, Indiana Jones, they're calling him in Indy. He's taken off. You've got, Dalton I mean, you've got several other guys who've left and they went to the Seahawks or they went somewhere and they're excelling. Why? Because your team sucks. The way that and it's just like management for any company. We're talking earlier, 46% of you, and I don't mean just you guys, I mean everybody. 46% of Americans can't stand their job, are miserable, describe their job as a meh. Why is that? Because you hate going in there. There's no reason to go in there. And some of it's not just even about the money. It's just you feel like nobody cares. They're not leading you in the right direction. There's nowhere for growth. It's just going through the motions. That's not a good place to be. Not as a football coach, I'll tell you that right now. I watched no college football because I passed out on Saturday because I was really sick. But Penn State fired their head coach, and everybody's like, oh, he gets $50 million to be fired. 50. They owe him.
So you just go retire, right?
And there's no clawback, apparently, in his contract. So a lot of times, if you get fired, wherever you get fired, there's a clawback, meaning you have to make an effort to get another job. And let's just say you're owed $5 million a year, but you get a job only pays $3 million. They'll make up the difference because you're guaranteed that. But you got to make some effort. There's no clawback in this. He can go get another job tomorrow, and they still got to pay him his money. Damn, that's good.
Good work if you can get it.
Good work. Good work if Bell couldn't get it because Bell doesn't understand sports. You're not really.
I really don't.
You have no idea. You don't. You guys don't have any idea. It's Columbus Day, everybody. Just want to remind everybody that Columbus. We played this last hour and played every single hour. If you guys don't know anything about Columbus, this is Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about Columbus.
Okay, I think him coming to America was the most significant thing to ever happen in our species.
Whoa.
I think it was the most significant event to happen in our species.
The most significant. Period. Case closed. So while everybody rails today about how much they can't stand Columbus or he's evil and bad and all of the things. By the way, first of all, he didn't find this place. It was always here. He just went for it when others didn't. And it was amazing where he did land, which was not here, by the way. We remind everybody. But he opened up a new route, and he also brought together groups of people that, yes, warred with each other, but also groups of people that have been cut off from the rest of the world. And we came. By we, I mean the Italians. I'm not Italian. The Itais showed up. He's Portuguese. He's Italian. You know where this is a big deal? In the East Coast. Because Columbus is big doings out there, Columbus. They're very proud of him. Because you can't celebrate Lucky Luciano.
They still celebrate John Gotti, though.
They do. But Lucky was the man. All right, coming up, more stuff to get to this hour. Some government shutdown talk, as well as T-Swift. She's breaking records, guys. She's breaking hearts and breaking records. We'll talk about that as well. If you missed any of the show, shame on you. Reach out, grab that podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Shame, shame, shame. You should have known better.
Taylor Swift is breaking records for The Life of a Showgirl, the pop superstar's 12th studio album, setting the record for the biggest first week in music history, with over 5.5 million album units sold and more than 1.5 billion streams globally. And in less than 24 hours after its release, Spotify and Apple Music crowning The Life of a Showgirl as the biggest album of 2025.
I think that's fair. It's probably easy to say. It's going to be a pretty big album. And those are albums, too, if we've talked about, because she sells albums.
Well, that's not entirely albums. There's a formula for streams that count as album sales.
But he had 1 billion in a few days?
Yeah.
Goodness me.
1 billion copies?
No, 1 billion streams from the album.
Oh.
So she's doing well. And
I was responsible for about half that.
She's got a docuseries? Oh, really? Well, look at you. I've seen one. I've streamed the Ophelia. Is that the name of that song?
Yeah.
Opala?
Ophelia.
No.
I like Opala.
Fate of Ophelia is the single, but there's another song called Opalite.
Okay. One of those songs I streamed. And I thought, okay, it sounds very, very much like her. And outside of that, I haven't, but I listened to like seconds of some of the stuff when it first came out. She's she's big. I mean, she's no Lee Greenwood, but she's pretty big.
I understand that some of it's pretty racy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few lines in there that I think parents are going to.
I saw the Kelsey, his brother, oh, God, I forget his name. But his wife has a podcast.
Yeah.
And she was saying, I don't know if I need to know that much about my brother-in-law. And let's just say how he's doing, if you will. But, well, tough. You got it. There you go.
When she, the last couple of albums, though, when she did have some spicy lyrics, she also did versions where they were not, if she used a cuss word, she'd switch it out with something else, just out of an affinity for the younger fans, whose parents wouldn't want them hearing that.
I don't know it's like she did a radio edit for them.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if she did it for that. I don't think has she done it for this?
Not that I know of, but it wouldn't surprise me if that doesn't come out at some point.
You could sell those separately and make more money.
That's always nice. And she's also doing a docuseries called The End of an Era.
Yeah, that's on Disney Plus.
So, this, it's all happening for her.
There is a line in, I forget which song it is, but, it's like, da-da-da, and my D is bigger than yours.
Yeah, she says some stuff about...
Goodness.
Yeah, I know, right? That is...
I've never heard music like that
That
before.
is horrible. It's no Cannibal Corpse, I'll tell you that right now.
No, sir. She would not be allowed in.
No way! By the way, what movie did you see that freaked you out, Ken?
Oh, man, boys, I tell you. It's called VHS something. I can't remember. All I know is it was VHS, and it intrigued me. Because, I'm old. And I remember VHS. And I mean, there's one of the stories in it, I cannot erase it from my mind.
Really?
It's like I told my wife, I said, well, it's just sitting in the back of my mind. And one of these nights, whenever I'm having a peaceful sleep, it's just going to.
Oh, I like that.
It's just gonna be there.
It's good. Well, it's the Halloween season, so you should have
Oh
that.
my gosh, man. It was
I suggest
very macabre.
you see a movie called Trick or Treat, not the one with Ozzy Osbourne and what's his name? Oh God, it was the guy in was it Skippy? The Live Next Door? Isn't he the one that starred in that one too? From Family Ties? I think he starred in that. Mark, whatever his name was.
Oh, yeah, the one that was always hot for Jason Bateman's sister.
Yeah. That didn't work out well, by the way. The movie's called Trick or Treat. This one's 2000. It actually came out. It was done in 2006, 2007. Then originally 2009. It is awesome. It is creepy. It is funny. It is scary. It is anthology, but they all tie themselves into it. What did you say earlier, Belle? It's like a what? Love Actually.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a horror
where all of the there's dispergent elements, and you're like, this is 4 different plots that have nothing to do with each other. And then as you get closer and closer to the end, you see all the plots start to intersect.
Intertwine.
But there's no loving and kissing and all that, is there?
No.
Well, there should be.
No. Well, there may be a little loving and kissing, but it doesn't end well for the loving and kissing, if you know what I mean.
I wish I didn't see the loving and kissing I saw.
Yeah. No, this is awesome. And it's called Trick or Treat. And the movie was supposed to come out, but Warner Brothers kind of jacked the pooch and said, we're not going to release it. Bryan Singer, who did all the X-Men and all these movies, he produced it. The guy who directed did Godzilla, Superman, all these things. And this was his baby. And they couldn't get it released. They finally had it play in 1 or 2 things, over a weekend at a few places. And then it just went out to DVD, and it's like, if you've never seen it, it is awesome. Brian Cox is in it. I love him. He's hilarious. You've got Anna Paquin, smoking hot. She's in this as well. And a bunch of other people that you'll recognize and go, oh, this is cool. Super creepy, a lot of fun. So if you want to get your mind off that and have something a little bit more fun but still give you a little creeps, I suggest Trick or Treat. All right, coming up, got some text messages from you guys about what's going on. More on, we got a government shutdown. I got to double check, see if we're still shut down. I think we are, so that sucks. We'll talk a little about that, more on what's going on right now. Ceasefire deal is in place. Things are moving and happening. And now, are we on to phase 2? Trump says so. We'll talk a bit about that as well. If you're missing the show, grab the podcast. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. We were talking earlier about Columbus, and I said, how big he was. And everybody's like, the Chinese might have gotten here first. For sure, the the Vikings did. The thing is, they had them showing up here, it was minuscule. They showed up, they looked around, they turned around and left. There was nothing more than that. They weren't here they didn't make an impact where Columbus made an actual impact on everything. Good or bad, he made an impact. And I think the good outweighs the bad, but we look back on and say everything he did was bad.
I got these great diseases you're going to love. And by the way, we brought this thing called slavery.
Yeah. That's horrible. That's true. I mean, it's horrible. Well, we can't deny it. But the fact that he opened up another route, he opened up people that had been cut off from the rest of the world, and was massive. It is. Can't be understated. I mean, that thing is huge. What he did, you can't overstate that. That was massive. Neil deGrasse Tyson said it was the greatest accomplishment to our species. And that's a guy who, by the way, before that, tells you what an absolute Richard he is the entire time, how horrible he is, all the bad things he's done. And because he was brutal. Like, in school, they make it out to be like, here he comes. And no, he was brutal. He was. But everybody was brutal back then. It's a brutal time. But the Indians were brutal to each other. Mm-hmm. Everybody makes it seem like they're all just holding hands, walking around. Yeah, no. That was not true. That was absolutely not true. They could be brutal to one another as well. So that's why that the Scandinavians, Leif Erikson and some of the others don't get the credit they deserve, is because they got here, they looked around, they thought, and they turned around and left. We want to go somewhere we can attack. All right? There's nothing here. Nobody met them there to fight them. None of that stuff. For those of you guys not keeping score, huge day today in the world of peace. And it is incredible. And I've said this earlier, and I'll continue to say this. Trump, the love that Trump got in Israel was amazing. Absolutely incredible. I mean, it is the kind of, he was a conquering hero returning home. And that is, I don't think he's ever felt the kind of love that he felt.
The crowd here started to erupt into cheers of thank you, Trump, thank you, Trump. And I have to say, everywhere you go here, there are posters of Trump. We have seen people who have made artifacts dedicated to Trump. Fair to say that President Trump is possibly even more popular here than he is in the United States.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's absolutely no doubt right now because he's popular with everybody. They don't like Bibi, by the way. Bibi is not beloved over there. He got booed on several occasions. And over the last several months, I've told you guys this, Bibi wasn't doing press conferences in Israel. He wasn't because he knew what was coming. They were going to ask him all kinds of things about the war, about whether or not you're going to get back any of the prisoners. Why aren't you even trying to get the hostages back? About all of his cases that he's currently facing. He was going to face a barrage of stuff. And he didn't. That's why he came over here. And a lot of the stuff that he did, if you notice, was in English. And because there were relatively easy questions thrown at him, nothing hard, nothing combative, that he couldn't walk his way out of. On the other side of stuff, I want you to listen. This is a person who Trump helped free.
Along with my friends, which were all murdered. One of them, Tamil is still held. His body is still held in Gaza. Later on, I was taken captive for 498 days, leaving my wife with just 2 girls up to then. She was pregnant in the bomb shelter for the whole period of time. What I thought is that they were all murdered as well. She later on gave birth, and I got my life back. Thanks to you and your staff. I came back here, met my baby girl when she was already 14 months old. And now life is full.
I got my life back thanks to you. Thanks to you, I got my life back. His kid was born while he was in captivity, met her when she was 14 months old. Everybody else that was with him that day, murdered, dead. He got his life back. So the hostages are all back. The ones living, they just transferred over remains in 4 caskets. A lot of people went the other way. Not a lot is being talked about what's going on in Palestine. And they're going to have to rebuild. And this is going to take a long time. This is a decade of rebuilding to get it to a place where it is back to some normalcy as far as we got running water, we got this, we got that. And this is going to take a long time. But anything worth doing like this, a project like this, is going to take a while. And I think they'll get it done. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. You know, Trump, they asked him a day about, phase 2, because, what's phase 1 is this, what's phase 2? Well, phase 2, it's kind of going already, right? I mean, we're there. Once you got everybody back, now it's on to something else. And that would be the second sign of the phase, which is getting them to demilitarize. And that includes whether or not, Israel, you're going to back out like you promised, and both sides going to keep their promises?
Well, it started as far as we're concerned. Phase 2 has started. And, the phases are all a little bit mixed in with each other. They're going to start cleaning up. You look at Gaza, it needs a lot of cleanup.
It does need a lot of... That place is a dump. That's all I'm saying. It needs a lot of cleanup. We're going to have to clean it up. And it does need a lot of cleanup, $50 to $100 billion worth. So if any of you guys have a company out there and you would like to get some contracts, I'm sure they're looking for people to help start cleaning it up. If you got a broom and a shovel, head on over. Opportunities abound. It's got it. It's going to take a while. And you know what? Those people, Trump said, we're not going to displace them. We're not asking them to leave. But they're coming back to nothing. If you've not seen and they're already starting to work on it today. If you've not seen what it looks like over there, go back to those World War II videos. You'd see where Dresden has rubble, and then they have like one house that was like a apartment building, but all that's left is like 2.5 stories, and there's only like 2 sides to it. That's kind of what was left there. So this is going to take a while. This is going to take a long while, but it will get done. It will. I think Trump is right. But there's going to be some ups, there's going to be some dabs, some ebbs and some flows. Meanwhile, the government continuing to shut down as the government continues to do. No word on when that's going to change anytime soon. The big thing, obviously, is healthcare. Over the weekend, Marjorie Taylor Greene was on with Tim Dillon. If you guys don't know who Tim Dillon is, funny guy. And they were on, and she came on to talk about healthcare, among other things, and how frustrated she is.
And I'm so disgusted with Washington, D.C. I hate politics. The two-party system is extremely broken. It is failing all of us. And when I look at, here goes another $100 billion to Ukraine or $30 billion to Israel, but yet nobody can afford health insurance premiums. And then I'm getting yelled at by Republican colleagues for saying that out loud. I'm like, This is insane.
It is. It is absolutely insane. And the cost of premiums. So I know here our open enrollment starts Friday. For most people, their open enrollment starts November 1st. I don't know what it's going to look like. People on. So if you're on your works insurance, they're saying it could rise anywhere between 15 and 20%. But on average, they put it at 18%. If you are one of the 22 to 25 million Americans that go through the exchange, without this, you're going to see your premiums. So this is the subsidies. You're going to see your premiums jump anywhere between 50 and about 120%. And that doesn't mean, remember, you're also going to see your copay rise. You're going to see your, not just the premiums. You're going to see your deductible rise. You're going to see a lot of these things shoot up, and that's not a good place right now. And that's what they're battling over. And, you got the likes of our good man of yours, the one and only Mike Johnson's like, I'm not coming here. We're not going to do this.
We have to fix healthcare in America, and we have ideas to do it. But we have to have government open and operating to do that. I cannot snap my fingers and go in a back room with Chuck Schumer and say, oh, here's the magic fix for it. It's not how it's going to work.
No, it's not. But you know how it works when both of you guys are in the same room working together. The fact that we have our soldiers in lines getting food is unacceptable. And I know Trump's trying to figure a fix out. He's trying to, from what I understand, there is about $8 billion in an account. It'd be nice to have $8 billion in an account. About $8 billion in an account that was marked for research, I think some AI development, stuff that you can replenish later. Nothing's getting done anyways. And that they're trying to figure out how they move it from point A to point B and get them paid. But it doesn't matter. They're still going to miss a paycheck. And they're already living paycheck to paycheck. It's not like the military's like, woo, it's a party, man. There's so much money here. No. So that's a big issue. Because this weekend, the pictures that are out there of the military standing in line, and even people that say, yeah, normally you'll get a few of them, nothing like this. It's around the corner. It isn't until somebody absolutely, no doubt about it, gets the full blame that they're going to come back. And if Trump can figure out a way to get the military paid, this is going to go on even longer. Because that's the most important thing, get the military paid. Because it's hard to look at the men and women who are willing to die for our nation and us and say, hey, we'll get you back on the other side. Because we know your credit card company is super solid with us. Yeah, no. Coming up, a lot of still some crazy stuff to get to. We haven't talked about the National Guard. I was showing Bell earlier today, that this weekend in Portland, a lot of naked bicyclists riding around. And when I mean naked, we're talking about buck naked riding around bicyclists. Portlandia. And they were buck naked too. And not everybody should be buck naked.
It's like the video for the Queen video for bicycle races.
Yeah, it's what it is. Yeah, so it was a festival of insanity. And it was Portlandia, as you said. So we'll talk a little bit about that, the National Guard, what's going on there, a bunch of other stuff. And if you guys haven't heard, the Titans have fired their coach. Was he 1-5 this year and 4 and suck? I don't even know, 4-19 overall.
4-19 overall.
Oh, God. You had to see it coming, right?
Yeah, that's not going to get you a bonus.
No, but you had to see it coming.
Well, yeah, and just back-to-back. Well, not back-to-back because they did get that one win in a weird way over the Cardinals. But you have basically just lost to two other teams that were the worst teams in the league, too.
Yes.
Now you and the Jets are the absolute worst teams in the league.
And by the way, the Jets yesterday, they still played a close game in England against the Broncos, and their quarterback had 10 yards passing, period.
Goodness.
10 yards. I could go out and throw for 10 yards. I could. I could go throw for 10 yards. All I got to do is hit somebody, Cam Scattaboo or somebody out of the back. Run. 10 yards passing. He's an adult that gets paid money to play football. 10 yards. That is awful. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Brian Callahan is the first NFL head coach fired this season. President Trump on his way back to the U.S. after signing that Gaza ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. And we know the identities of the 16 people who perished in Friday's explosion in McEwen. These stories and more coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Many of you are asking about the naked bike riding. So that was another one of the...
That was...
Did you see it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yes.
It is... I mean, this was to protest ICE. So... For the last several days, they've had the people in the big giant blow-up suits doing karate and dancing in front of them, which is awesome.
Why is it always people that have the least amount of business taking their clothes off the first ones to do it?
Yeah, it's not like Margot Robbie and David Beckham are rolling around on bikes. Right? It's like some of you people, what are you doing?
It's like that scene out of Wanderlust, whenever everybody's running.
Yeah.
All the nudes in the and the cult, or no, they run across it's a centenarian nudist colony, I think.
It's just.
Is that the movie with Jennifer Aniston and Paul Rudd?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just awful. It's like, did you see the original Borat?
Yes.
When he and the fat guy fight and they go into like the insurance, they're doing a huge insurance conference.
Classic.
And they're bucked, and the guy's like 300 pounds and 4 feet tall, and they're both naked, and they're fighting. That is what it was like, but people on bikes.
That's one of the funniest scenes I have ever seen.
Yeah, that was.
But the Portland thing was not funny.
No, it was not.
Well, it kind of was.
It is. And there, by the way, a lot of people showed up. They're riding their bikes around, being weird. That's what they do in Portland. They can say Portlandia. That's their thing. They like being weird. Okay. Right? They're wearing a scarf, no clothes, and a helmet.
And they're actually sitting on the seats of their bicycles.
They're sitting on the seats, right? They're sitting their butts on the seats, in the rain, riding their bikes. And then in between there, you got people with blow-up dinosaur outfits because it's Halloween, so those things are cheap. And they're like standing in front, and they're trying to do ninja moves, which is also hilarious.
Oh.
I don't know. I know. What are you going to do?
The kids at Kent State would be humiliated at how bad they are at protesting.
Yeah, they are. Oh, my goodness me. But that was, the naked bike ride. Just type in naked bike riding. It'll pop up on Twitter. And then do it before you eat. That's all I'm saying.
And don't do it at work.
Yeah.
There was one of them that had, was wearing, one of those old World War II gas masks.
Oh, yes, I saw her.
Oh, my.
There was a few bigger girls and men that were out there. Hey, you know what? For lack of a better term, you got a lot of balls to do that, sir. Just putting that out there. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program. Ken's got all the fun and frivolity for you, including we're down a coach here. The Titans are down a coach.
Hey, boys, maybe we ought to apply.
Hey, we couldn't do worse. Right?
All right, drop and give me 20.
You got to get low.
You got to get good pad level. Good pad level.
It's the Jeff. It's Super Talk 99.7.